Is €500,000 actually enough to retire in Ireland? By the end of this video, you'll know the answer, and most people won't like it.
€500,000 sounds like a fortune, but in Ireland, it might only last you 12 years. Or it could last forever. The difference comes down to 5 decisions most people get completely wrong. Today, I'm going to stress test whether €500,000 is actually enough to retire on in Ireland. Not in theory, not using American assumptions, using real Irish costs, real Irish taxes, and real Irish pensions. And I'm going to do it by following Brendan, a 65-year-old from Cork who's about to retire with exactly €500,000 in savings. By the end of this video, you'll know whether 500k is enough for you, the 3 factors that determine if you run out of money, and the exact withdrawal strategy that could add a decade to your retirement. Let's find out if Brendan makes it. Brendan worked for 40 years, started as a sales rep, worked his way up to regional manager. He's 65, recently retired, and has €500,000 in savings and investments, a full state pension entitlement starting at 66, a small occupational pension worth €6,000 per year, and his house is paid off. No mortgage, no dependents at home.
His wife Mary has her own state pension coming too. On paper, Brendan looks comfortable. But here's the question keeping him up at night. Will it last? He wants to live well, not extravagantly, but comfortably. Travel once or twice a year, help the grandkids, not worry about every euro. He's planning to live until 90. That's 25 years of retirement. Can €500,000 plus his pensions cover 25 years in Ireland? Let's run the numbers. But first, we need to understand what retirement actually costs in this country. Here's where most retirement calculators get it wrong. They use generic retirement spending figures that mean nothing in Ireland.
Let's build Brendan's actual budget. Essential costs monthly. Groceries, €600. Utilities, electricity, gas, broadband, €350. Car, insurance, tax, fuel, maintenance, €400. Health insurance, €200. House maintenance and insurance, €150. Phone and subscriptions, €80. That's €1,780 per month just to exist. No luxuries, no fun. Lifestyle costs monthly. Eating out and socialising, €300. Hobbies and activities, €150. Gifts and family help, €200. Holidays, averaged monthly, €400. Miscellaneous, €170. That adds €1,220 per month, total €3,000 per month. €36,000 per year. Now here's the critical question. Where does that €36,000 come from? Brendan has 3 income sources. Let's add them up. Source 1, state pension. At 66, he gets the full contributory state pension, €277.30 per week or €14,220 per year. His wife Mary gets the same, combined €28,840 per year. Source 2, occupational pension. Brendan's old company pension pays €6,000 per year. Not huge, but it helps. Total guaranteed income, €34,840 per year. Wait, Brendan needs 36,000. He has 34,840 coming in guaranteed. The gap is only €1,160 per year. So does Brendan even need his €500,000? Not so fast. Here's what we're forgetting. Chapter 4. The 3 retirement killers, 5 minutes to 6:45. This is where most people's retirement plans fall apart. 3 silent killers that destroy even well-funded retirements. Killer number 1. Inflation.
Brendan needs 36,000 today. But what about in 10 years? 20 years? At 3% inflation, Ireland's recent average, 36,000 becomes Year 10, 48,400 euros. Year 15, 56,100 euros. Year 20, 65,000 euros. Year 25, 75,400 euros. His state pension is indexed to inflation, so that rises too, but his occupational pension? Fixed. And his lifestyle expectations? They'll creep up.
By age 85, Brendan might need €60,000 plus per year in today's terms. That gap isn't €1,160 anymore. It could be €20,000 plus per year. Killer number 2, healthcare. Brendan is healthy at 65, but statistically, healthcare costs explode after 75. Private health insurance premiums rise with age. Currently €200 a month at 65 could become €400 plus by 80. And if Brendan or Mary need home care or a nursing home, average nursing home costs in Ireland are €1,000 to €1,500 per week. That's €52,000 to €78,000 per year. The Fair Deal scheme helps, but it takes 80% of your income and 7.5% of your assets annually. One serious health event could drain €500,000 in under a decade. Killer number 3, sequence of returns risk. This one is technical but critical. If the stock market crashes in your first 5 years of retirement when you're withdrawing money, it can devastate your portfolio permanently. Same average returns over 25 years. But if the crash comes early, you're selling investments at rock bottom prices to fund your living costs. Your portfolio never recovers. Brendan retiring in 2008?
Disaster. Retiring in 2012? Fine. Timing matters enormously, and you can't control it. Right, let's stress test this properly. Scenario 1, conservative withdrawal. Brendan uses the 4% rule. He withdraws €20,000 per year from his $500,000, 4%, adding to his pension income. Total annual income, €34,840 plus €20,000 equals €54,840. After tax, about €48,000 take home. That's €4,000 per month, well above his €3,000 need. At 4% withdrawal, with modest investment growth, his $500,000 should last 30 plus years. Scenario 2, higher spending. But Brendan wants to enjoy early retirement. He withdraws €40,000 per year for the first 10 years. Travel, helping kids with house deposits, living well while healthy. After 10 years, his $500,000 is down to €180,000. Now, he's 75, has €180,000 left and 15 plus years to go. At 4% withdrawal, that's only €7,200 per year from investments, combined with pensions, €42,000. Tight, but survivable if nothing goes wrong. But at a health crisis, unexpected costs, or a market crash, Brendan runs out of money at 82. Scenario 3, the balanced approach. Brendan takes €25,000 per year for years 1 to 10, then drops to €15,000, 3% from 75 onwards when his spending naturally decreases. After 25 years, he still has €320,000 left. This approach lets him enjoy his healthy years without compromising his later security. Chapter 6, the tax factor everyone forgets. Here's something that could change Brendan's entire outcome. Where his €500,000 is held. If it's all in a pension, ARF, withdrawals are taxed as income. On top of his state pension and occupational pension, Brendan could be paying 40% tax on ARF withdrawals. A €20,000 withdrawal might only net him €12,000. If it's in ETFs, 41% exit tax would deem disposal every 8 years. Brutal for long-term compounding.
If it's in individual shares, 33% CGT with €1,270 annual exemption. Better than ETFs, but still significant.
If it's in cash, 33% dirt on interest. Safe, but low growth. The optimal mix? Brendan should have some in his AARF for tax-free growth and 25% lump sum, some in taxable investments for flexibility, and some in cash for emergencies. The structure matters as much as the amount. So, is €500,000 enough to retire in Ireland? If you own your home, have full state pension entitlement, withdraw conservatively, and stay healthy, yes, €500,000 is enough. You'll likely die with money left over. If you rent, have gaps in your PRSI record, spend heavily in early retirement, or face major health costs, no, €500,000 will run out, possibly decades before you do.
For Brendan, homeowner, full state pension, modest lifestyle, he's fine. More than fine. But change two variables, add rent and remove the occupational pension, and suddenly €500,000 doesn't last past 80. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most Irish people have nowhere near €500,000 saved for retirement. The median pension pot at retirement is closer to €100,000. If you're watching this and you're under 50, you still have time to change your number. Max your pension contributions. Get that tax relief. Let compound interest work. If you're over 50 and behind, you're not doomed, but you need a plan. Maybe that means working longer, spending less in early retirement, or downsizing your home. The question isn't really, is 500k enough? The question is, what's your number and what are you doing today to get there? Thanks for watching, and remember, retirement isn't an age, it's a number.